it's really neat to be able to know that you're in a field that's so basic to humanity, really. You know, that what we do is so, it's really an honor to be a part of it and to be directly involved in it. You know, I love it. I love that I am where I am. I didn't set out necessarily 10 years ago or thought I would be here. In fact, I thought I'd be anywhere but here. But thank God that I am here and that I don't regret any step that I've taken to get here.
Agriculture industry itself is wide open for people that are willing to work hard and people that just are a little bit hungry, a little bit ambitious. It is an unbelievable opportunity in the agriculture field, not just for people that farm. Is one of my best friends never grew up with an acre of ground. He always wanted to farm. And 2 years after he graduated high school, he got the opportunity to start farming a couple hundred acres. And he was a wise steward with those 100 acres, and he got a few hundred more. And today he farms 2,000 acres and is an excellent farmer with no college education and is as sharp as anybody I know because he was willing to work hard.
Me and my brother are sixth-generation farmers, and we learn more and more about our family's history and, you know, what parts of the farm have always been here and what it used to look like and so on and so forth. And so that heritage is really, it's becoming more and more important to me. It's really neat.
My degree was in ag business. What I got more than anything else from my degree and from my education was it taught me more than anything else how to figure out what I needed to know. A lot of the stuff at ASU provided a very good foundation. My degree provided a good foundation. But a lot of the stuff of day-to-day running a business and trying to grow a crop and to make sure that you pay your bills, it gave me the foundation to figure that stuff out and to learn that.
After high school, I graduated, went to college. I decided I was offered a scholarship at ASU, so I went to ASU. And on the advice of my brother, he said, just declare ag business for now. After you get your basics, you can change or whatever. I said, okay. So I did those, and I actually ended up through talking to different people, talking to my family, praying about it, I decided to more or less stick with ag and ended up getting an ag business degree.
Absolutely. More than anything, it taught me to value the people, number one, that were good people and that wanted to try to help people like me. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. People that really I rely on a lot to make sure that I'm making intelligent decisions and things like that.
It does feel like being a CEO of sorts on the farm. The business side of it is so huge now. You got to do your best to try to manage, well, money above all, employees. You know, trying to make sure that the guys you work with, that we're as efficient as we possibly can be, but at the same time that they feel like they're a part of it. And that's something we've talked a lot about, and we want to make sure that because they are. I mean, we couldn't do what we do without those guys, without them putting out a lot of work. It's a huge business, and if you don't manage things properly, it's just not going to work right. In the past year or two, it's really come back to me, especially the business side of it, just the good business principles.
I want to be very clear. Me and my brother are successful and will be successful only because they are really good people that help us a lot. We honestly aren't that much better farmers than anybody else, but we have been very blessed to have people like Scott Greenwalt and Dr. Ashlock and the seed companies that we work with and our financial people that we work with. I mean, honestly, they deserve the majority of the credit. We've just got really great people that we've been surrounded with. The biggest difference today in who's going to be successful or not is on the business side of it. It's just not like how it used to be. There have been farmers that I've respected all of my life, and they've retired. And they were a lot better farmers than I am, to be honest with you. They were a lot more intelligent. They had a lot more wisdom about how to grow a crop. And it's not that I have better business sense either, but I understand that if I'm going to make it to retire at the age they did, it will be because that I've had to stay up on the business side and the marketing side.
I tell you, I guess I'm a second generation gadget freak. I come about it honest. My dad, I mean, even this day, he loves gadget. I will say, thankfully, he's very open to trying new stuff. And in fact, a lot of times, a lot of stuff that we have, the new technology that we have gotten is because of him. You know, he read about it somewhere maybe. He said, hey, we need to look into this and see if this will work for us. But here we love technology. I probably love it a little too much. I think it was the planter that's sitting here behind me. I got it 2 or 3 years ago. And I basically completely pulled off all the electronics and everything and completely redid everything to where it was all precision planting system. Well, it's got its own monitor, but then it ties into an iPad, and it create maps of the fields. Fertilizer monitoring system is monitored now on the iPad, and it can tell me my flow and blockage and things like that. All of the tractors, GPS driven. Technology is a big part of what we do. Well, I don't know that we could do what we do without it.
While I was at ASU, one of the things that really interested me when I was there was the precision agriculture department. At the time, Dr. Bill Baker was working there, but he was I just latched on to the stuff that he was trying to teach and the software that we were using and things like that. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm normally the type to be covered in grease, but for some reason, when I was at college, I really enjoyed the computers and the technology side. And I learned as much as a research assistant underneath him as I did honestly in my degree. But I would present him with a problem or something that I needed to know how to do, and he would just look at me and say, "Greg, you can figure it out." And it'd take me longer, but I'd eventually figure it out. And so that got me started in looking at technology and things like that. For the most part, technology hasn't been a part of the farm up until the last 15 to 20 years, for anybody's farm for that matter. Obviously, it will be a huge part from here forward. It will continue to increase and increase. At the same time, technology will never take away the need to be able to make intelligent business decisions. So yes, technology is a big part of it, but I've matured a little bit since I got out of college and realized it's not the only part as well. It is a very big part, and it gets bigger each year. It's the biggest place where I see the checkoff funds working to help us. Is something that me and Ryan had an opportunity to go to a conference just a couple of months ago about how the Soybean Promotion Board is working to find new avenues for non-GMO beans, new markets for food-grade beans and things like that. That's where I see them, but they are the behind-the-scenes structure that allows us to pretty much farm free of distractions. Just almost one of those things like oxygen that at times you can, as a farmer, you can take for granted. You don't realize what all they're doing behind the scenes, but I assure you if they weren't there, you'd realize it very quickly.